Hello everyone, today we're focusing on Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics, topic of number, subtopic money conversions. So basically not all currencies have the same value, right? So you might have heard of a lot of currencies when you have visited and traveled around the world. So you might know that, for example, there are euros in most of the European countries, there's pounds in the UK, or there's dollars in countries like Australia, there's Australian dollars. In countries like America, there is American dollars, for example. So all these currencies basically don't have the same value. So some currencies are basically a bit stronger than others, and we actually have a way to convert from one currency to another, and we use this called exchange rates. Okay, so exchange rates allow us to change from one currency to another. So how do we do this? So we can start off with something like this. For example, Jane wants to change 225 pounds into euros, right? And we have been given the exchange rate that 1 pound is equal to 1.62. Now, since the amount of money I have is in pounds and I have the rate, which is 1 pound is equal to 1.62 euros, simply to go from 1 pound to 225 pounds, I have to multiply the left hand side by 225, right? So if I want to find out how many euros this is equivalent to, I have to do the same thing on the right hand side, and I have to multiply 1.62 by 225, which then results in 364.5 euros. If I move on and show you another example, in this case, we have Ahmed who wants to change 2000 Saudi Riyal into euros. Okay, so he is trying to change from Saudi Riyal into euros, and this time we see that 1 euro is equal to 5.087 Saudi Riyal. Okay, so how much does he receive in euros? Now you can see that the amount of money I have is actually given in terms of the Saudi Riyal, right? So what I can do, okay, is I can convert the exchange rate into basically the Saudi. Now currently it is 1 euro is equal to 5.087 Saudi Riyal, but if I want, I can change the exchange rate the other way around. That is, I can divide the exchange rate by 5.087 on both sides, which then tells me how many euros is 1 Saudi Riyal. In which case, I can then multiply that value by 2000 to give me the amount of euros, which is 393.16 euros. If you do not want to convert, that is, if you do not want to change the exchange rate to find how much 1 Saudi Riyal is in terms of euros, you can also simply do 2000. But rather than multiplying by the exchange rate like we did in the previous example, you can divide by the exchange rate here, and that also will give you the same answer in euros. And that brings us to the end of a short lesson on money conversions. We're going to finish off with some questions. So if $1 is equal to 1.13 AUD, convert $123 to AUD. So basically having a look at this, we have the dollar. So we have to multiply 123 by 1.13. And that is going to be equivalent to 133.99 AUD, which is this solution. Then we have the next cost. Hannah bought 3 pairs of shoes for 120 USD online. She is planning to sell them at her shop for LKR 9,500 each. How much does she of a profit does she make from all the pairs of shoes? Okay, so simply we can convert how much 120 USD is. So that is 120 times 201.56. So that is the total amount she had purchased for is 24,187.2. So out of that, now she's going to sell basically each of them for 9,500. So that is 9,500 times 3. So she's making she's making basically the revenue of 28,500. So if we calculate the difference between the cost of buying and the cost that she is actually selling for, we can see that her profit is about 4,312.5. Divide this answer by 201.56. Then we can see that the solution is 21.39 USD, which is the first option here. And that brings us to the end